Hello everyone, my name is Jose Avalos. I'm an associate level designer community at Avalanche Software, and in this tutorial we're going to be learning about scoreboards, both individual and team scoreboards. Some of the new creativities we have made for Disney Infinity 2.0. So scoreboards are a way of keeping track of, well, you know, the score, and are mostly used for multiplayer challenges, such as collectathons or races or what have you. So the best way of showing how they work is by actually doing a challenge and completing it using the scoreboard. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is open up the ribbon and go to Creativity Toys. And you can see that there's two kinds of scoreboard. Right here. One, this is a scoreboard just for individual players, and then we have the team scoreboard, which is, you can see that the icon is similar, but it has those like people icons on top, so that means they are for teams. They both work in similar ways, so first I'm going to delve into the scoreboard just for players 1 through 4, and I'm going to place it right here. I'm also going to be placing a challenge maker, which is going to be the one that's going to be tracking of the collectathon that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to place one around here. What else do we need? Oh, we also need some collectibles. So I'm going to look for some collectibles right here. I like these ones. These are the Dunbrook pastry collectibles that are from the Brave Toy Box game. So we're going to place like 3 around here. And what else are we gonna need? We need a collectible tracker. So basically some toy that keeps track of how many collectibles are in the field and so on. And what else do we need? We're gonna put some podiums as well, because this is something that usually goes hand in hand with making multiplayer matches. So there are 4 kinds of podiums in here. We have first place podium, which actually the player is going to be facing in the direction that number 1 says. Also second place podium, third place podium, and fourth place podium. And alright, I think that's all that we need to do for getting started. So first things first is configure the challenge maker, so we can say, okay, do we want to do this by points or by time or what have you. So we will go to the properties and select, let's see the properties first. Auto start on Toybox game load? No, I don't want to. This is the important part. Do we want to do this by either by if one player defeats another one, or how many gates you have used if this is like a racing game? How many enemies have you defeated if this is more of another like beat 'em up match? Points, which is what we're going to be doing here, or by time. So this is when you're doing a race. So for now I'm just going to say points, and this results rank order says whether I'm going to order them from high to low or low to high. So in this case, since I'm going to collect points as fast as I can, it's going to be high to low. So and location, this is where the players are going to be after you have closed the results at the end of the challenge. For now, I'm just going to say challenge location, quit Toy Box game when ended. This is basically if after I finish the match, do I want to go straight into the main menu or do I want to stay on the map? And this is the countdown that says, 3, 2, 1, go. And this is just title and description of the challenge itself. So we already have all we need. Now what we need to do is link up the challenge maker to the scoreboard so that the scoreboard has any way of tracking, okay, who is winning and who's losing and so on. So there are 2 ways in which we can do this. First, I'm going to show both ways. The first one is by selecting the challenge maker with a wand and say new score results connection. You can see that it also has new time results connection in case you want to also do it with a race, in which that case the toy would be using would be a timer. But since we're using the scoreboards, I'm going to say new score results connection. So I select new score results connection, and you can see that it says select the scoreboard. So this can be either a scoreboard or a team scoreboard. So I'm going to select it here, and it says link score for results. And if I press OK, you can see that I've already have the connection. So now this challenge maker is going to be using this scoreboard to keep track of who's winning. Now I'm going to delete this connection so we can show you the other way. The second way is by selecting the scoreboard itself with the wand, and let's say new score results connection, and we're going to be selecting the challenge maker, and it says link score for results. It is the same connection we did before, so whatever connection, whatever way you want to do it, both are equally effective, so that's good. Now what we need to do is configure the scoreboard itself. So I selected with the magic wand and I go to properties, and you can see play 2. This is usually, for example, like rounds, as if it was like a fighting game like Street Fighter. So in this case, since I want to, for example, put 50 different collectibles or 50 points, I'm going to have to increase this from play to 3 to, say, for example, play until 50 or whatever maximum points you want there to be in the game. This win by 2 is basically if you want 2 out of 3. So, for example, well, there you can see what it is. And this is visible display. Is do you want to show the scoreboard on the screen? Yes or no? I want it to show on the screen, so I'm going to leave it at on. Okay, now what we need to do is make some kind of like connection. So whenever a player picks up these pastries, I increase the score of the player. So for that, we're going to be using the collectible tracker, and I'm going to select it with the wand, and I go properties, and it says collectible type all. Now by default, it can be any collectible on the map, but if I press in this case select, it's going to say you can be more specific. So for example, we could have that the pastries, in this case Dunbrock pastry collectible, increases 1 point for each player, but there are other kinds of collectibles that are harder to reach that give the player more points. You can actually do that. So I'm gonna say collectible type, Dunbrock pastry collectible, and now I'll say new logic connection. So collectible collected by, and it says any, which in this case includes enemies. It can be a specific player, or it can be a member of a team. So let's say that now, since we're using the scoreboard, we're going to be using player. And let's say that for player 1, I increase the score of player 1 by 1 point. So after doing this, I select the scoreboard, and you can see what kind of options we have. Reset the scoreboard basically sets all the score from all the people again to 0. Remove display, hide the display of the scoreboard itself. Activate, well, activate the scoreboard and deactivate. And then we can increment the score of player 1 through 4, and then decrement the score of player 1 through 4. This is in case, for example, if anytime a player dies, they lose points. So we can do that too. So for now, I'm just going to say increment player 1 score, and we can say by either 1 point, 2, 3, 4, up until 10. For now, I'm just going to say 1 point. And now it says multiple connections created. What does that mean? Well, if we check the collectible tracker, it says, oh, we have 4 logic connections in the scoreboard. And collectible collected by player 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's because the collectible tracker by default assumes that if you do one thing for one player, well, all the other players obey by the same rules. So if I say collectible collected by player 3, increment the score of player 3 by 1. Now, this is not set in stone. You can actually change it. So if I want player 3 to increase the score by 2 points, I can actually do that. So, and I can do that without modifying the logic connections for the players 1, 2, and 4. So that's good to know. And we did this so you can save some time. Now what we need to do is that once we start the challenge, we activate the scoreboard, and also that when the final collectible is collected, we finish up the challenge. So we're going to do just that. First, activate the scoreboard. So, new logic connection. Once I start the challenge, I'm going to select the scoreboard and say activate. And once the results are closed, that is once I see the end of the game, and we see all the scores like, oh, player 1 got 3 points and so on. Results close. I'm gonna deactivate it, because otherwise I'll still be seeing the scoreboard even if it's not valid anymore. And now what we need to do is, once a new logic connection, once the final collectible has been collected, doesn't matter by whom, I'm gonna complete the game. And finally, what we need to do is, once before the challenge starts, respawn all the collectibles, because once they've been collected, they're gonna disappear. So, and they're not gonna be there until you tell the collectible tracker, hey, reset all the collectibles of this type, in this case, which we had set up in properties, Dumbrock pastry collectible. So, new logic connection, once invites accepted, so this is before the challenge starts, I say reset, and reset just place all the collectibles back again. In fact, let's try picking up one of these, and you can see that the score now is 1. So, yeah, I'm gonna need to deactivate the scoreboard. Alright, so let's say new logic connection, invites accepted, and let's say now I'm gonna reset. And now the final thing that we need to do is carry on the players, once the challenge has been done, to the respective podiums. So for that, all we need to do is, from the challenge maker, new logic connection. Once the game is completed, I select the first place, and it says right here, teleport player. It says multiple connections created, but basically it is get the first player, the player who won, and teleport him or her there. And now we need to do the same connection for players for the second place, third place, and fourth place, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. So, challenge maker, new logic connection, game completed, third place podium, and then I'm gonna teleport the player, and finally, same thing for the fourth player. So, new logic connection. No, sorry, wrong connection, everyone. New logic connection, game completed, and fourth place podium, and I teleport the player. Now we're all set up, ready to go. So I'm gonna call another player, which in this case is just me with another controller, and they're gonna be Groot. I am Groot. Alright, so let's start the challenge. So I'm gonna have Rocket get in here. I'm gonna invite the other people, and now I need Groot to accept it. So title, I'm gonna accept the invite. And now the challenge is gonna be starting. So we don't have the scoreboard anymore because I reset it. 3, 2, 1, go. And now we can see that the scoreboard is 0 points for everyone, and we have all the collectibles because I said once the invites have been accepted, reset it. So if I'm Rocket, so I'm player number 1, and so if I pick up one pastry, it says level 1, well, 1 point. And if I do with Groot, it's gonna be 2. And now let's finish up the game by making Groot pick up another one. So now, when this happens, when the game is completed, they celebrate in place, and then they get teleported to their podiums. And you can see that those are the results that Groot won. So I'm gonna get Groot out of the game just for clarity's sake. So that's really how the scoreboard works, only for individual challenges. But what happens if we want to say, hey, let's do a team-based challenge? So the scoreboard that we're going to be using, instead of this one, instead of the scoreboard, we're going to have to place a team scoreboard, which is located in Creativity Toys. So let's put a team scoreboard, which is located right here. And also the toys that we need to set player, hey, one team or the other, are these activators, which are located right here. So we're going to say blue team activator, orange team activator, green team activator, and purple team activator. So the way that these work is just that I need to run through them, and once I step over them, I am assigned to this team automatically. So as you can see now, Rocket has some kind of like green glow. Yeah, now Rocket has a green glow, which says that Rocket is part of Team Green. The thing is that if I step over it again, it deactivates, but, well, never mind. But now, if I want to say, hey, but I want to assign the players to the teams automatically before the game starts, can I do that? Well, you can definitely do that. So for that, let's say that once the invites have been accepted, so new logic connection, once the invites have been accepted, I'm gonna select the activator, for example, the green team, and you can say, okay, set player 1 to green team, 2 to green team, or I can either add them to teams or I can remove them from teams. In this case, what I'm interested in is set player 1 to green team, and I'm gonna put player 2 on the orange team. So new logic connection, once the invites have been accepted, orange team activator, and set player 2 to orange team. And just to show that this works, I'm going to be now purple team, as you can see by the purple glow around Rocket. Now what we need to do is link up the team scoreboard to the challenge maker, so we can see the results. So, new score results connection, as we had discussed before, and we select the team scoreboard and link score for results. And now we need to also change the properties of the team scoreboard. So they are the same ones as they were in the scoreboard, so I need to put, instead of 3, I'm just gonna leave it at 30 for now. So we need that, and now we need that once the game starts, I show the display. So once the game started, I'm gonna activate it, and once the results are closed, new logic connection, results closed, I deactivate it. And now what we need to do is that, for example, a player of the green team picks up a collectible, increase the score of the team by 1. So now I choose the collectible tracker and I say new logic connection, collectible collected by, in this case, team. In this case, I'm going to say green team. I'm going to put team scoreboard. It was a green team. Yeah, it was a green team score, and we're going to increment it by 1 point. And as you can see, multiple connections created. And in the same way that it did it for players 1 through 4, it also did the same thing for teams green, blue, orange, and purple. So now we're all set up and ready to go. So let's get Groot again. And to show that this works, I'm going to make Groot team blue. So, okay, Rocket is going to start the challenge now. So I invite the other people, and now Groot accepts the challenge. So as you can see now, once the invites were accepted, I made Rocket team green, and I made Groot team orange. So if Groot picks up a collectible, the score of Team Orange increases by 1, whereas if I do it with a green, it increases the score by 1 point. And now I'm just gonna make Rocket win by, equality, by making him pick up the last collectible. So game completed, and now it should take me back to the podiums, which is exactly what it did. And now I get out of the game. If I want to if I want to eliminate the players from the teams, I could do one new logic connection. Once a player has been teleported, I could put it in here with a green team activator, and then hey, clear players, all players from teams. So that's really all there is to know about both scoreboards and team scoreboards. I hope this tutorial has been useful to you. And well, if you have any questions, please let me know either in the comments or in the forums. And well, thanks for watching.